I would like you to please welcome me in joining David Kieve, the president of the Environmental Defense Fund Action. EDF is one of the most influential and powerful groups in our movement, and David has been a real friend and ally to our council. And this convention is special for him in that prior to joining EDF, he worked for the Biden administration. And before that, he played a central role in helping getting the president elected. He first served as director of early states, helping President Biden emerge from the most diverse and talented field of Democratic candidates ever assembled, and worked hard in Nevada. So he understands that Democrats can and should run on climate to win better than many, many, many people. And it is a real pleasure to have him with us here today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Michelle. It's an honor to be here today. It's particularly an honor because I get to share a program with a couple of my environmental justice heroes, and to be in the company of some of the legislators who worked tirelessly to pass the most significant climate law in the history of the world. I'm David Kieve. I'm the president of EDF Action, the advocacy partner of the Environmental Defense Fund. This evening, we'll hear from Joe Biden. He is, simply put, the greatest president we have ever had on climate. I'm optimistic because we've accomplished so much. The Inflation Reduction Act is working. Hundreds of millions of dollars are creating hundreds of thousands of good-paying jobs in clean energy and lowering costs for American families. I spoke at a press event in Lansing, Michigan last week. There were two leaders of local business trade groups there talking about the good jobs that are on their way. One of my good friends who helps lead one of the more significant unions in the country working on clean energy shared a story with me. At their national convention, all the business managers were asked to stand up. They were asked to raise their hands if their 5-year look back at their book of business was better than their 5-year look ahead. Not a single hand went up. That's what progress looks like. Friends, we don't need to make America great again, and we aren't failing so badly you wouldn't believe it. This great nation is leading the rest of the world in a race to the top to create more clean energy faster. We cannot afford to go back. I've called Joe Biden the greatest climate president ever, and I'm proud to have worked for him. But I believe Kamala Harris can be greater still. She approaches these issues differently. With Joe Biden, it's climate equals jobs, and I believe in that. But Kamala Harris views it through her experience as a prosecutor and her belief in freedom. Freedom from the threat of extreme weather made worse each year by the acceleration of the climate crisis. Freedom to drink clean water and to breathe clean air, and to live, work, worship, and play in communities where we don't have to worry about environmental harms. I'm excited for the future that a Kamala Harris presidency will bring. And at EDF Action, we are committed to doing our part to make it happen. We're working in partnership with other leading climate groups like the League of Conservation Voters, Climate Power, and others, launching the largest ever environmental advocacy effort our country has ever seen. And we're committed to the greatest grassroots mobilization in our organization's history. All of our electoral engagement is done under the banner of Climate Voters Unite. It's not about being part of EDF Action, it's about bringing together every single person who believes that climate action is absolutely necessary. So please, join us. If you want to learn more, go to edfaction.org or just show up in a campaign office sometime this fall. The future is incredibly important and we need your help. Thank you.